Sweeties, so today we're talking about something that might ruffle a few feathers, but you know me, it's all love. There are some BL couples out there who, let's just say their chemistry is a little on the dry side. Like you watch them and you're wondering, are these two in love or just waiting for the food delivery? But here's the gag, no matter how stiff, awkward, or sibling-like they look on screen, the fans are working overtime, editing slow-mos, adding sparkles, making it look like Titanic-level romance. And honestly, I'm not even mad at it. So today, I'm gonna roast them a little, because let's be real, chemistry or not, they still managed to steal our hearts. We're talking about 7 BL couples that may not sizzle on screen, but the fandom ships them like they're sailing the 7 seas. Now listen, I know some of y'all are about to get defensive, but yeah, that's the point. Drop your opinions in the comments. Do you agree with me, or do you think I'm blind and crazy? Either way, let's fight it out respectfully. Okay, sweeties, let's kick this off with the classics, the OGs themselves, Krit and Singto. Yeah, I know, they're legends, they paved the way, they're the blueprint. But come on now, are we really gonna sit here and pretend the chemistry is sizzling? Because to me, it feels more like lukewarm tea. Like I'm watching them and wondering, are they about to confess their love or just politely pass each other the salt? Here's the thing, they shine when it comes to acting, no doubt. But when it comes to romance, that passion just doesn't always translate. The kisses? Half the time they feel like 2 coworkers doing a quick rehearsal before heading home. The longing stares that should make your heart skip? Sometimes it looks like they're trying not to laugh instead. It's like the emotional fire never fully lights up on screen. Now don't get me wrong, these two shaped the BL industry, they opened doors, they carried the early era on their backs, and if you're into BL, chances are you've fallen into their world at some point. But let's not call the kettle white when it's clearly black. Even when the X Morning dropped, I was hyped, like really hyped, and then I watched it. I kept waiting for that spark, that heat, but it just never fully showed up. Still, they're Krit and Singto. No matter what, their names are etched in BL history. They've given us moments we'll never forget, and even if the romance doesn't always crackle the way we want, their legacy, untouchable. Chemistry or not, they'll always be the OG kings. And sliding smoothly into number 6, we've got Nye and FO. Now, before the pitchforks come out, let me just say, I know these two have one of the most loyal, passionate fan bases out there. Like, mention their names and suddenly your comment section becomes a battlefield. But sweeties, come on, let's be real. When it comes to romantic chemistry, these two just don't have it. It's giving wholesome, it's giving adorable, it's giving best friends forever. But that deep, fiery romance, it's not hitting. Watching Nye and FO sometimes feels like you're third-wheeling the sweetest high school bromance. They're playful, they're giggly, they're comfortable with each other, but that raw, romantic spark, that rip your heart out and glue it back together kind of passion, it's just not there. The kisses? Cute, but they feel like something you'd give your crush at the back of the school library, not the kind that makes you want to fan yourself and pause the screen. The intensity? More like puppy love than epic love. Now don't get me wrong, that is their charm. They've built this image of being the cute couple, the kind that makes you smile instead of screaming into your pillow. And clearly, it works because their fans ride or die for them. They don't need heavy passion to win people over. Their boyish energy and lighthearted vibe have created a whole lane of their own. But if we're talking romance, Nye and FO are one of the pairs who lack that sizzling chemistry that makes you blush and kick your feet. What they do have is sweetness, wholesomeness, comfort. They won't burn the screen down, but they'll make you grin like a fool. And that's why they're still a power duo in BL, whether the romance hits or not. And now, sliding into number 5, we've got another set of OGs, ZeeNunew. Now listen, I respect these two. I really do. They've been in this industry long enough to earn their flowers, and their pairing was once that couple for a lot of fans. But sweeties, let's be honest, the spark feels like it's kind of fizzling out. Back in the day, ZeeNunew had this charm. They were playful, easy to watch, and gave us those soft, romantic vibes that worked in their era. But as time went on, that magic hasn't always carried through. Their chemistry now feels a bit routine, like 2 professionals clocking in for work rather than 2 lovers pulling us into their world. The kisses? Polite? The stares? Sometimes more friendly than fiery. The passion? Barely a simmer when you know fans are craving a full boil. But here's the thing, that doesn't erase what they have done. Tae and New are still pillars in BL, and their comfort with each other shows. If anything, they've moved into this lane of being more like cozy comfort food than spicy fireworks. You don't watch Tae expecting your screen to melt. You watch them because you know what you'll get: steady, safe, and easy on the heart. Now here's where I might ruffle some feathers. I honestly think it would be so refreshing to see them paired with someone new in the industry, because let's be real, the hype around a new Tae series just isn't the same anymore. We're not exactly holding our breath or counting down the days like before, or maybe it's just me. But the excitement feels dimmer, and pairing them with new faces could bring back that spark we're all missing. So yeah, the chemistry might not knock me off my feet anymore, but I can't deny their contribution. They're OGs for a reason. Even if the fire isn't blazing like before, the warmth is still there. And sometimes, sweeties, warmth is enough. And now moving into number 4, let's talk about Pooh and Pavle. Yeah, I love them, I really do, and I know some of y'all adore them too. But sweeties, let's not pretend. The chemistry is just not cooking. Like when they're supposed to be giving lovers, I'm seeing more acquaintances politely sharing Wi-Fi. It feels stiff sometimes, like the romance is happening because the script says so, not because the sparks are flying. The kisses? Whoa. Half the time they feel like someone pressed the pause button in the middle of a rehearsal, and the stares that should be dripping with longing. More like, hey bro, you good? Honestly, I find myself waiting for the fire that just never really lights up. Now, don't get it twisted. I am also one of their die-hard supporters. I ship Pooh Pavle like crazy. But being a fan doesn't mean I'll call the kettle white when it's clearly black. I'll cheer them on, yes, but I'll also laugh and say, sweeties, the fire alarm is silent because there is no fire. But here's the thing, individually, Pooh and Pavle are both so likable. They've got charm, they've got presence, and the fans clearly see something they want to believe in. I'm included, by the way, because even with the romance running flat, their supporters are still editing, still screaming, still making it look like a love story for the ages. And that's what I think really carries them. Not sizzling on-screen chemistry, but the way their fandom refuses to let that ship sink. But it's almost like the fans said, okay, if they won't give us the spark, we'll create it ourselves. And honestly, respect. So yeah, Pooh Pavle might not be setting the screen on fire, but they're still in the conversation. And that's the gag. Chemistry or not, the fans will make sure this ship stays sailing. Alright, sweeties, we've been cruising along nicely, but now it's time to step into dangerous waters, because the next couple, yeah, this is where the comment section might catch fire. But you know me, I say it how I see it. So let's just rip the band-aid off and talk about them. Let's talk about Pond and Puin at number 3. Now I know, arrows are already pointing at me. The fandom's sharpening their knives, but hear me out. Don't fight me, I love them too, okay? They're still one of my comfort ships, but babes, sometimes they're stiff. Well, not just sometimes, maybe most of the time. Like you'll be watching and praying, please, just let this hug melt a little. But nope, it's giving mannequin love story. And look, I'm kind of scared for their upcoming show. Like, will they finally bring that fire? Or are we about to sit through 2 beautifully awkward boys staring at each other again? Either way, you know I'll be watching with popcorn in hand because I can't quit them. At the end of the day, pondphuwin is that couple you can roast endlessly, but still protect with your whole chest. Zero chemistry or not, we'll keep shipping them till the wheels fall off. Okay, babes, we've now arrived at Markpoon, and yes, I can fully say what I want because technically they're not even a ship anymore, so nobody can come for me in the comments. The ship already sailed and sank halfway through. Let's be real, chemistry? Non-existent. Watching them sometimes felt like 2 classmates forced to do a drama project together. You're just sitting there thinking, are they acting in the same scene, or are we watching 2 different shows cut into one? It was stiff, it was awkward, it was, well, let's call it experimental cinema. Now, don't get me wrong, individually they're both talented and they have potential in other roles, but together, nah, babes, that was a chemistry drought. Still, the fandom tried so hard to ship them, like we were all in the desert begging for 1 drop of water. At the end of the day, Markpoon will go down as one of those pairings people ship because they wanted it to work, not because it actually did. And honestly, that's iconic in its own way. And now, babes, we finally made it to number 1. Yes, that one couple none of us thought we'd see on this list, but here we are. Because who am I to see the truth and not say anything about it? Yep, I'm talking about ZeeNunew. Now listen, before y'all start sharpening your pitchforks, don't fight me, okay? I love them too, I really do. They're powerful, they're marketable, and their fan base? That's like an army. You drop their name anywhere and instantly the room turns into a battlefield. But sweeties, if we're being brutally honest, chemistry-wise, it's not always giving what it should give. Like, let's really talk about it. That slow motion thing they always do and that famous little tongue move, most people call that chemistry, but for me, it's not. And I get it, it can look captivating in the moment. But if I'm being brutally honest, that's pretty much all there is. Beyond the edits and the camera tricks, the connection sometimes feels stiff, almost rehearsed, like they're performing for us instead of sinking into each other naturally. It doesn't give butterflies like most pairs do. Here's the tea though, what they do have is presence. They know how to command attention, they know how to sell a ship, and they've built an empire off their pairing. Even if the sparks don't naturally fly, the impact they've had on BL is unmatched. They've turned fan service into a whole art form, and for that alone, respect. So yeah, ZeeNunew might not always melt the screen with passion, but they've mastered the illusion of it. And honestly, that's why they remain one of the most influential BL couples of this era. Chemistry or not, their fandom isn't going anywhere. They'll keep shipping them like it's the law of the land. And honestly, who am I to argue with a whole empire? And there you have it, sweeties. 7 BL couples who may not always set the screen on fire, but still manage to set the fandoms ablaze. 0 chemistry? Maybe. 0 fandom? Never. These ships are unsinkable, well, some of them anyway. Whether the actors bring the fire or just serve us lukewarm tea. At the end of the day, BL just wouldn't be BL without a little bit of Delulu, and honestly, that's half the fun. So tell me in the comments, which BL couple do you think has the flattest chemistry but still owns your heart? Don't be shy, let's stir the pot together.